Yeah. Hey everybody, it's Mike from Spring Farm, and it's week six here at the CSA, and I just want to talk to you guys about a couple of things about this week's boxes and the boxes themselves. Matt Lowe, who is a worker, one of the workers here at Spring Farm, just did a video for the hosts and was talking to them about how to better organize the boxes. You know, we went over to a new box system this year, and what we're trying to do is keep those boxes organized. So we would just ask that when you leave your drop point, that you just try to keep the boxes tight and neat, and then that will help the host to organize the boxes. But I want to talk to you guys about a couple of crops here. There were some questions last week about the basil, and last week we picked and bunched 620 boxes of basil. They came in, bunches of basil, and we ended up throwing them out because when we were ready to put them into the boxes, they had some black spots starting to form in the leaves, which usually means moisture. And the way we harvest basil is that we go out there during the dry part of the day, not when it's too hot, but after the morning dew has burned off the plants, and we pick the basil, and then we bring it back in. It goes right into the cooler. Sometimes it goes into cold coolers even in the field, depending on the time of the day. It comes back in, and we try to avoid the condensation all we can. To make a long story short, the basil, we were afraid that the basil was going to go bad in your boxes, and so we left the basil out of the boxes last week. And I think the largest got it because we were able to cherry pick enough out of the basil that was going bad out of the bunches, and we put it in the large boxes. And we have about 150 large boxes, is that right? Mm-hmm. And we have, about 500 small boxes or so. So it's just one of those things where we just didn't want that basil to go bad on you, and we're waiting for the next dry period. Now we just had a lot of rain here this week, and so we weren't able to pick the basil here this week for you. I want to talk to you about spaghetti squash, though, because there's spaghetti squash in everybody's box this week. We're having a wonderful harvest of spaghetti squash. And so we are picking it, and this is what it looks like. Sometimes it will be green, and if it's green, it's still fine. There just seems to be some sort of mutation going on here with the color. We're not really sure why it has some of the fruit had. Probably about a quarter of the fruit looks like this, but it'll still be fine. So what you want to do is cut it down the middle and take the seeds out, and then you can do is turn it upside down on a baking pan with a little bit of water in it, and then you can steam it or bake it, I guess, at 350. How long did he say? About 15, 20 minutes? Probably about 15, 20 minutes, until it's soft enough that you can poke a fork through the back skin, and that should then you can do anything you want with it. There's a lot of great recipes. I think Jamie or Aaron is going to include some recipes this week on spaghetti squash.
We were also successful, if I may, just peeling it and scooping it out, breaking it into pretty large pieces and simmering it in water or broth. And once it breaks up, it's good to go. That was another easy way to do it.
Yeah. So that was Matt, by the way, and he and Julie, and there's a house that we have that they live in, and they have a lot of fun over there in the kitchen. I'm afraid they have more fun than I'm having. Next week, we're going to be looking at potatoes in the boxes. Oh, I know what I'll talk to you about real quick here with the fennel. There's fennel in your boxes this week, and fennel is a really wonderful addition to the boxes. There's only one, and it's just a nice sort of aromatic, anise flavored. It's almost like an herb, really. It's a bulb, and it looks like it's got like these fingers coming off, and it's sort of like the stems for the leaves are coming off the bulb. And you can slice it and put it on raw, mince it up and put it on salad, or you can take it and roast it on the grill and use it as a side. You also have Walla Walla onions, which are very sweet onions this week. Lots of cukes. Obviously, we have a lot of cukes coming in, and in the spirit of the CSA, we want to make sure you guys get what's coming in, what we have a lot of, and we're going to get a lot of cukes next couple of weeks. So we'll put some recipes out there for you. Obviously, you know how to eat them fresh. Put them in salads, but maybe we'll put some pickling recipes in there. We are going to be pickling a lot of cucumbers this year, so those will be available later on this summer or in the fall for purchase off the website too. Next week, peppers, or green peppers will be coming in, and potatoes will start coming in next week, along with some other things. And tomatoes are just starting to turn now. If you're near the Mount Pleasant Farmers Market or in the Carlisle Farmers Market, we will start seeing tomatoes show up. And then we have about an acre of tomatoes planted. A lot of heirlooms this year. We do have some yellow tomatoes coming in, some cherries. We have a lot of different types of heirlooms: orange oxheart, brandywine, Cherokee purple, Japanese black truffle. So, okay, there's a lot to tell, but I'm going to try to keep this short. So thanks everybody, and we'll see you next week.